Good day, everybody. My name is Ms. Mabue. I welcome you to today's grade 12 lessons. Business studies is the subject, and then we'll be focusing on the impact of recent legislation on businesses. And for today's lesson, we are focusing on the two legislations, namely the National Credit Act and the Consumer Protection Act, known as the NCA and the CPA. Says here, did you know the Consumer Protection Act applies to transactions that occurs within the Republic of South Africa? Therefore, South African consumers who buy goods from foreign countries will not be protected by this act should their consumer rights be violated. Right. Just like every lesson, we have our lesson objectives, what we need to achieve by the end of this lesson. Remember, I said we're focusing on the National Credit Act as well as the Consumer Protection Act. And not only that, we are including the rights of consumers in terms of these acts. The right of consumers in terms of both the acts, the NCA and the CPA. So by the end of this lesson, or based on the above legislation, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to outline or describe or explain or discuss the purpose of the acts above. This is our focus area number 1. Right. Secondly, you should be able to discuss or explain or evaluate the impact, which impact refers to the positives or the advantages or the negatives or disadvantages of the acts. So this is our focus area number 2. This is focus area number 1, number 2. Thirdly, you should be able to outline or explain or discuss actions that are regarded as discriminatory by the various acts. Remember, various acts, those 2 acts. So this is focus area number 3. Right. Outline or explain or discuss penalties or consequences for non-compliances. This is focus area number 4. Hope you are counting with me. Very important that you understand all these 5 focus areas. Outline or explain or describe or discuss the rights of consumers in terms of the NCA and the CPA. Right. So these are our special aspects. We're looking at the rights of consumers in terms of the NCA and CPA. Actually, we've got 5 focus areas, and these 5 focus areas, it's the purpose, that is number 1, the impact, which is number 2, the actions regarded as discriminatory is number 3, the penalties for non-compliances, it's number 4, lastly, it's ways to comply, which is the 5th focus area under the legislation. So all of these legislations, they've got 5 focus areas, right? So in this particular topic, we've got these 5 focus areas, but over and above these 5 focus areas, we've got special aspects. What are these special aspects? We've got the rights, right? So we'll be focusing on the rights according to the NCA and also the rights according to the CPA. So this is basically our journey for this topic, the 5 focus areas as well as the aspects, which is the rights. So it's very important that you understand whether we're talking about the rights according to the NCA or the rights according to the CPA. Very important. Right, so this is what is expected of you as you're joining us, right, to understand now the focus areas of the COIDA and the focus area of the BCA. Don't forget, right, that these focus areas, they've got also, these topics, they've got special aspects, but not all of them have got special aspects. So with the COIDA, it doesn't have any special aspects, but with the BCEA, which is your Basic Conditions of Employment Act, its special aspect is what? It's the provisions of the BCEA. So you are expected to have that knowledge. But in order for you to see that you do have the knowledge, we need to assess that. So our practice question could be, how can the companies apply the BCA? Right. Don't forget, with the BCA, it speaks of the working hours per week. You are expected 45 hours. So the application says now, businesses can apply the BCA by ensuring that workers only work 9 hours per day, only in what? In a 5-day work week. So if you multiply that, you'll get what? You'll get 45 hours, so 45 hours per week. So this, by applying that, it means we are compliant with the legislation. Right, but now how can they apply the COIDA, which is the Compensation of Occupational and Injuries Diseases Act? Businesses can apply this legislation by ensuring that machinery is in good working conditions. Not only that, but also by reporting all accidents causing injury of employees. Remember, if you get injured in the workplace, then you need to be compensated according to the COIDA or according to this legislation. All right, so as we are busy with this topic, these are the new words that will be coming across, so you need to pay special attention to these new words. Right, we'll be finding credit providers. What are credit providers? It says here, all the businesses that offer goods and services on credit. You know those businesses whereby when you go to them and then you need money or you need clothes, we call those the credit providers. Nature or even furniture, it's not only limited to clothes and money only, but if you're going to go there and they allow you to take whatever that they are giving or that they are selling on credit, it's known as a credit provider. That business is known as a credit provider. And that business needs to be regulated by what? The National Credit Regulator, which is another word or another term that we'll be finding in this topic. It is responsible for the regulation of the South African credit industry. Right. Lastly, we'll be looking at debt counseling. What is debt counseling? This is a debt solution targeted at South African consumers who are over indebted and are struggling to manage their finances. So they need to go through debt counseling and then they get assisted there. All right, so we're going to go on a quick break, and then when we come back, we start with our journey on these recent legislations on businesses. Remember, we're focusing on NCA and the CPA, so we'll start with the journey just now. I'll see you after the break.